have the consistency of the green. I don't know their logo, but that's what's going on here. And we were talking about really nice pictures with words that convey information subliminally, that they're getting it.
Right.
And these things are also, they're popping more because they're in white with a dark background, where these are more what we were talking about, like kind of.
Right now I'm at Whole Foods. Actually, of course, Jesus invited me to hear Chef Sosa, and to tell you the truth, I was totally impressed by your performance. Right now, you're going to be one of our chefs at August 3rd.
That's right.
Right now, August 3rd, we have a big gala event of top chefs in the area, and explain who you are, what you do, or what is all this about. Your show.
Okay, thanks. Well, today what we did is a food styling class, and we just took a lot of the live fresh produce here, and thank you very much Whole Foods for letting us do this, and just to talk about the beauty of food, and that's about it.
And what do you do? You're going to just do like a live presentation?
I'm sorry?
Will you do like live presentations of how to make a food more appealing?
Right. What I was trying to teach is just about the color wheel and how to make it more pleasing to the eye, especially for bloggers or food photographers.
You know, talk? Probably not.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is live from Whole Foods. Thank you, Zeus. This is Dorothy Salvatore. I should know that name. And actually, maybe a more. Maybe.
That's right. We'll do a little bit more.
Okay.
Okay.
Anyway,
thank you.
Live from Whole Foods. Say bye.
Bye. Hannah? Okay. Yeah.
Right now, I'm not going to say how I get all these hot chicks. Anyway, next to Sandy. Sandy's my co-host for the month. And we did a film about 6 or 7 years ago, right?
Right, 2007.
2007. And why did you come back, and what did you just start?
Yeah,
Why don't you talk about it a little bit? Okay. She did not know she was going to be in video until 2 minutes ago.
No, he always does this. Like, I would make myself a little prettier.
Look fabulous, good.
All right, so, well.
Right now, we're starting again after a 2-minute delay, and I'm right next to Sandy, and I'm right next to the other side is Dorothy, right?
That's right.
And Sandy came, actually, why did you come? Because we filmed about 7 years ago. And then kind of back and forth. And I like your sweater. I think.
Thanks.
Good. You look very pretty hot. Very good.
For me, I wanted to be healthy, and I wanted to incorporate more of raw food in my diet, but I couldn't sustain it. And I talked about that before. I had a really hard time staying on it, and I would do really good for a while, and then my life would get really, really, really stressful. And
How many kids you have?
I have 7 kids.
She has 7 kids. So
There's
your life,
one right there.
Yeah.
I loved the concepts, and I had a lot of knowledge and even support places in my life, but I couldn't stay on that. I would go back to sugar and go back to refined carbs, and then I would just go into a spiral. And depression's a funny thing, and I don't want to speak out of my knowledge and area of expertise, because I'm only speaking from personal experience. But for me, depression was really tied into how I ate, and how I took care of myself, and how I felt about myself. And I think that the root, one thing I love that you always say is that you're always talking about love. And I was like, okay, Arnold, but I feel like that's so key. Just to have a diet program that somebody tells you that's a good diet. I mean, I knew a lot of information, but I couldn't make that work all the time. And I think that it had to be coming from a root of really caring for myself.
Oh, wow, I love that.
And,
I do love that.
And incorporating the things that support the caring for myself.
Wow, I love that too.
And here's the perfect.
I love you too.
And here's a perfect venue to get that support. So I come back whenever I can come back in here, and I'm now without even trying, and this is a big deal, without even forcing myself and white knuckling it like I always would do before, It's just becoming
Oh,
more of
good.
my life.
Okay.
I'm probably at least 80% raw.
Wow. Wow.
And I'm doing a little macrobiotics
Okay, good.
at the same time because I work in a shiatsu
Okay.
school.
You
So
do?
yeah, I do. I do.
In Georgetown?
It's a great place.
I
but-
do shiatsu.
Well, it's wonderful. Well, and they incorporate macrobiotics.
Wow,
So-
wow, yeah, it's true.
And you know that I really am a
Right.
big fan of listening to some of Dr. Furman who talks about
Right.
high nutrient density
Right.
food.
Right.
So for me, it was kind of putting a combination of things together that, and this is my big point, I think whatever you do, it has to work for you.
That's right, absolutely.
Because if Arnold tells you to eat a raw diet and you can't, you're
Don't,
eating,
don't do it.
yeah, you're eating the
Right.
Oreos and you're feeling
Right,
guilty
right,
and it's
right.
only making you feel worse.
Right.
That's where I realized like, I love this thing, I understand it, but I can't make that work for me. So what can I do?
Right.
And it has to come from a heart-centered approach.
Anyway, right now our goal is to interview Dolores, so you be my co-host, okay?
Yeah, sure.
Go ahead.
Well, I'm Dorothy Salvatore. I go by the name Raw Chef Dosa. And what would you like me to say?
How you got started? What are you doing now? Because right now you'll be one of our chefs in our August 3rd event. Tickets are $10, so hurry up and get it. Okay.
Okay. Well, let me see. I think probably what I could say is that I yo-yo dieted for many years, probably my whole life. I didn't really realize that I was hypoglycemic or that actually I had gestational diabetes and I had lost a baby full term about 27 years ago. So I had a lot of history of problems with eating and sugar and addiction, and I just didn't know. You don't know until you know.
Right.
And then I had a pretty adventurous career, and I traveled around the country, around North America quite a bit, and I got to see how people were eating, and I just became burnt out, and I said if I could do anything, what would I do? And I said I would travel around the world and teach people how to eat healthy, and then everything just blossomed from there, and I wound up going out to Living Light Culinary in Fort Bragg, California. I also, before that time, was working at Genesis Farm, which is an ecological learning center. It's considered one of the top 15 eco-spiritual centers of the world. So I learned a lot about sustainable living and organics.
You had a couple of health issues that brought you to the wall, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah.
I had my appendix out, and I wound up getting a blood clot, and a blood poisoning, and a blood clot, and I was on a PICC line for a year. And the raw foods, it started to come to me, believe it or not, in a dream. And I wrote about that in a magazine article. I didn't know anything about Ann Wigmore or wheatgrass. And it's not that raw foods cured my blood clot, but I felt healthier and lighter and more hopeful and less depressed. And I did have a major surgery. I have a shunt, and
You still have a shunt?
yeah, it's from my kidney to my heart. I had it about 10 months ago. So I
Yeah,
tried
10
to...
minutes ago.
10 minutes, yeah. No, 10 months.
Oh.
Feels like 10
I just came from the hospital.
With my green smoothie.
That's right. No, but I found hope. I found really that there's a nice balance between alternative medicine and medicine, and I've been able to find that. I've been able to help a lot of people that are on blood thinner to stay consistent with greens. They don't have to eliminate greens. And I think in 10 months that I've been on a blood thinner, my levels for blood thinner were only off twice. At the whole time, so I stay
This
very
has been for the rest of your life, by the way?
one day at a time.
Wow.
So we don't know. We'll see what happens.
So are you 100% raw?
No, I'm not raw, and I tell people I'm not raw, I'm not vegan, I'm not vegetarian, I'm a veg mostly kind of girl. I eat
What?
Vegemosli. That's a great
Vegemosli.
term.
Yeah, I like that.
They say if you say you're a vegan and you're not, you're a chicken. So, so why would I? But I was cooking for a lot of people, and let's say I was cooking for maybe 12 people, and one was had a gluten allergy, or one had a dairy allergy. I needed to learn about alternative diets, and it just worked for me. It just happened to work for me.
And Arnold, wouldn't you say that? Wouldn't you say that people, like we were saying before, should do what works for
That's
them?
right.
Because there is not one.
Right.
We know that, right? There's not.
I say to people, don't believe a word I say.
Yeah.
You got to
Right.
follow your path,
Right.
and what today's truth may not be tomorrow's truth.
Right, exactly. And then, and if you can sustain it, I
Right.
think that's the thing. Like, there's these diets that we all
Right,
hear about.
right.
We go on them and buy
They're
all
good.
of them. But it's true, and I think that's so neat to hear what you're saying, you know, that you have found.
That's what I found for me, and then I started traveling around with my cameras and going to farms and learning about bionutrients in soil and how to maintain. That was from Ecology Action in California, and John Jevons. There's some great people out there doing work in sustainable living.
You want to talk a little bit about what you're going to be showing August 3rd?
What am I showing?
I have no idea. It's food styling.
Yes.
Which
So
is, it's like an art.
So I have this theory that most raw food looks like poo-poo on a plate, and I want to change that
Right.
so that people are attracted with their people eat with their eyes,
Yep.
and so I want them to see the beauty of the food and how they can get their message out there. I've teamed up with
Right.
Michelle from Super
Oh, right.
Life magazine.
Right, I love the magazine, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah. she
I
does
actually,
a
I
great
saw you
job.
yesterday. I love you. I love your pictures. I love everything that you did.
Thank you.
And you came here today. I was very, very honored.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm gonna make you dinner next.
Great. I'm hungry. I'm hungry.
Anything else you want to add?
Come and have a great time.
Anything else you want to add?
Yeah, no, thank you. Thank
Thank
you
you.
for being, thank you for being you and
Okay.
being this beacon for people to come to and to learn and grow. 'Cause
Good.
everybody's contributing, and I think that's what's so neat. Even just by healing your own self, you're contributing to the whole of
Absolutely.
getting healthy. Yeah.
Excellent.
I do have one thing I would like
Yeah.
to add. I think it's really important to have a sense of community whenever you're trying to make changes in your life, and to have a supportive network like this is a wonderful opportunity to meet like-minded people. That's really neat. I like that.
It's her.
Anyway, August 3rd, we have a community event. We have chairs and tables for everyone to sit down and talk to each other. We have name tags so everyone gets to know each other.
Do we have food?
We do have food.
If we have food, then people will come.
We do have food.
If you cook
Actually,
it,
we have 16 chefs.
oh, that's awesome.
Yes.
Right.
That's great. Yeah, I remember your event
Right.
a few years back. Do you do them every year or
No.
every couple
No.
years?
We
It
just, no.
It was well attended.
It was well
Yeah,
attended.
it was great. It was a great success.
What did you say about too many cooks in the kitchen?
Well, it's just gonna be chefs. Anyway, this is live from Arnold's Way. Bye.
Bye-bye.